In this video I'm going to try and get top 100 on all of Forza Horizon 3's drift zones. This would be really difficult as all of them have got multiple amounts of millions of people who've attempted it. There's also hackers on the top 50 or 70 players, so I need to be getting like top 50 or top 20 on every single track. Horizon 3's also been out since 2014, so there's been so many years for people to attempt these. And also there's a glitch to mean there's no traffic, but you need 2 people for that and literally no one plays this game anymore. So I had to do it with traffic, and in Horizon 3 the traffic's inside the drift zones. So this would be a really hard challenge and I'll get into it now. I'm going to start off with Byron Plains. And remember, in all of these clips I did all of them in only 2 nights, and some of them I've started a bit late because I recorded them wrong. But as you can see in the leaderboards, the hackers end very late, and there's also 3 million people in this, so I had to try and get top 100. You can see when it turns all into the same car, for example the Willys Jeep, that's when the hackers end. The next one is Crossbridge. This one didn't take long at all. This one was the most popular one of 4 million people, so I had to get the exact angle on the drifts and make it as long as possible. And when it like skips a frame or something like that, that means I rewinded, and you can only do that on offline, and that's where the traffic is as well. And you can see here 4 million people, and the hackers end very late as well. So this was actually a really good run. Tracks like this is the hardest because they have the most traffic, and in Horizon 3 there's a ridiculous amount of traffic. So these are actually quite hard to deal with the traffic. And the next one here is Double Hairpin. This one I found quite difficult because it was really off limits where the car could go. For example, you'll see in a second the car goes literally all on the grass, all 4 wheels on the grass, and it still keeps going, so it's quite hard to do this one just because I didn't know the track's limits. So I'm sure there's people who knows exactly how long the track is and just abuse that. So I could get a lot higher if I actually knew the track. And this one, it didn't take me too long, but I don't think I actually got top 100 with this one because some of them, the hackers were really far down, and I still got top 50, but with hackers it's just impossible to get top 100. For example here, the hackers go really low down and I still got a really good score. The next is Farmside. This one was pretty easy, it didn't take too long. For this one you had to have like a perfect angle on your car because the track was quite short. So it did take a tiny bit, but it wasn't too difficult, you just had to get a good angle on it. And as you see here, a really tight angle to get into the last line. And this was a decent score, wasn't one of my best. A lot of them you'll see that I'm quite near top 100. This is because I only took like 2 nights to get all of these. If I tried it again I could try and get like top 10 in every one of them. As you can see, 97. The next one is Gold Mine. This one was probably the easiest one by far. I think most people could get top 100 on this one. It was quite simple. You just needed to go as wide as possible, and not too many people had done this one, or to a good standard at least. This was another short one, so you had to be very exact with your angle. And as you can see here, I was in top 100. This only took like 2 tries or something. And as you can see, I didn't have many rewinds either. This one only had 1.7 mil, so it was a lot easier. As you can see, I'm quite high up in this, so I'm like 99. If I tried again, I think I could get top 50 pretty easily. The next one is Hillside. This one was one of them that took a lot longer because it's a longer track. And I did do a lot more rewinds in this one because it was such a difficult track. And this one you had to get such a good score, and here such a long drift, it was really difficult. As I was saying earlier about the glitch you get no traffic, this type of track would be so much easier with no traffic. As you can see, I did these in the city with a lot of traffics at night because it makes them so much easier because less traffic's on the roads. As you can see, 2:16, pretty decent time, and it should be close to top 100 because there's still quite a few hackers, and this one's a lot of people go for this one who do drifts. Next one is Outback Trail. I think all of these off-road ones were pretty easy because not as many people attempted them. This one was another difficult one with traffic. You had to get really wide on the lines, and if you didn't, you wouldn't get the score. So if there was one tiny bit of traffic blocking the outside, you just couldn't get it. But overall, this one didn't take me that long. It only took me a couple attempts. As you can see, I did quite a few rewinds. It would be a lot easier online with that glitch. And as you can see here, I got a pretty decent score. The hackers went quite high up, and you have to consider that the hackers aren't only on top 100, they're also past that. So this is quite impressive to get this high. And this is another one where the hackers are very high up, so this was still like top 50 or so. The next one is Silver Sands. This one was a very, very short track, probably the shortest one. So you had to have literally an exact angle. I didn't record much of this because I recorded too short. I only recorded like 15 seconds instead of 5 minutes or whatever. And this one, you can imagine it's very difficult to get on top 100. This took me like one of the longest ones, to be honest. You had to have such an exact angle, and sometimes it doesn't really matter what angle you have, I think. And a lot of people did this as well, like 2.3 mil or something. And as you can see, I'm 99, very lucky. The next one's Woodland Trail. This is another off-road one, so it wasn't difficult. But this one took me quite quickly. I got quite a good score on this one actually. It probably is very high up. And this is another one where traffic was a big problem. Like for example there, I had to rewind because of that car there. You had to like adapt around it so your score was less. That's where being online with the glitch is a lot easier. But as you can see here, I got quite high up on the leaderboards. That's where the hackers end, like number 30. And I got around 72. And that's everything. I did miss 2 drift zones, but those I got like 150. The hackers were up to like 50, but I didn't really count those because they were quite far off, and I wanted all to be top 100, and I couldn't really be bothered to do those as I was getting a bit bored. But in the future I might do this with different games. For example, I'm trying to make a CSGO montage now, and I'll see you in the future, and bye.